Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. As I said before, when you're a person that look like me, you always have to prove yourself 10 times over. Brother says something ignorant. Oh, don't trust him. He's not a real Muslim. What's a real Muslim? Like a golf Muslim? Is that what you mean? No, I'm not. But anyway, this is a picture of me and my sheikh from 2019. So I only been on social media for I think 5 or 6 years. I've been on social media representing myself as a Muslim the whole time I've been on social media. Here's another picture, 2020. Me and Shaquille O'Neal at a Turkish restaurant that I used to work at. You see me with my kufi on, right? Um, More pictures. Me and my uncle. He got his Islamic coin on. That's probably haram, you guys will say. Sorry about that. Me and my sister, she's Christian, so don't worry about her. Just more pictures, man, of me just being a Muslim. So when I question things and it's difficult for you guys to answer, like the answer is not attack. It's not say, oh, you're not Muslim or you're not this or you're not that. Like the answer is just answer the question. I remember, somebody was telling me the story about the Muslims circumambulating around the Kaaba and kissing this black rock. They're like, oh, your religion is full of idol worshippers or pagans. And I saw this video, right? You guys showed me the video, right? I didn't know anything about this, and I'm looking at the behavior of the Muslim man, like attacking each other and pushing each other out the way to touch the rock, and I thought it was strange. And I never really got an adequate answer. So could somebody answer why is this behave? Why do we behave like this about this black rock? Another thing is the finger movement of the prophet. I asked and I saw a Muslim man doing this. I'm like, why are you doing that? He's like, oh, that's what the prophet used to do. So, me mimicking the prophet's behavior, I started doing it too. Wasn't harder than the shani yaka. Who will up there? I don't know, but I'm doing it. But I want to know if anybody could explain to me why we're doing it. Besides, it's just because the prophet did it. Is there some other Does this mean something? There's questions that I just want answered, and when I ask a question, when you guys don't give an answer, it just seems like you're avoiding or hiding. Like, I believe it's the Mount Arafat. This might not be right, but why do Muslims go on the top of this mountain and they just stay like they're ripping their shirts open and they're like throwing rocks at the sky? And it's supposed to be that they're throwing rocks at Shaitan. I mean, I don't know, right? But can somebody explain that behavior? Those are just some things that I just want answered. And every time I bring up difficult questions, Muslims get mad. I'm a Muslim, so if you ask me a difficult question, naturally I would feel like I'm on guard and have to protect myself. So maybe I would attack. But don't attack your own brother for asking complicated questions. But answer the questions properly. Like, don't give me mental fatigue with all the gymnastics. That's all it is. And don't question my Islam. I'm getting ready to go to Juma in a second. That's why I'm dressed like this. But I thought I'd make this video before I go to Juma. What else? And of course, the biggest question I've been asking, racism in Islam. Nobody wants to talk about it. You guys keep on saying, oh, the Prophet Muhammad said no white man over a black, but then 3 centuries later, the Prophet Muhammad said he wouldn't be able to recognize his ummah, and people are going to be doing different things other than what he instructed. And we saw that when we saw Arabs, Muslims go to Africa indiscriminately, kidnap Africans, bring them back to Arabia and make them work for free. Why did we do that if there's no superiority over a white over a black? I just want solid answers to these questions. Like, we don't have to argue. We can have a conversation. And through this conversation, we can spread more love and more dawah. But it's Christians who ask Muslims these complicated questions, and you guys don't have an answer. You guys say things like, oh, slavery was different back then. You was more like a housemaid. You had rights. Like, come on, man. Like once we be honest about everything, we can move forward. But until then, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Right? And let me remind you guys, I'm an American Muslim. You're not going to see me dressed like this all the time. You're not going to see me with a kufi on all the time. Most of the time, I'm wearing American clothes. I'm not going to do things that Middle Eastern people do, right? Like my ex was she was a Sikh from Punjabi, right? And she loved me so much that she became Muslim. And I would say salam alaikum to everybody. I would be just so happy to say it because they said, the Prophet said, send your salams to everyone. So I would see people, salam alaikum, sister, salam alaikum. And she used to get mad at me because innately she didn't like Muslims. She had her reasons, her father had her reasons, right? But she loved me so much that she still became Muslim. But when I would sending salams, she would be like, hey, stop doing that. Her name was Amin Preet. Amin Kaur Preet. The Kaur, they used to wear these silver bangles. I don't know. I can't remember what the Kaur stands for. But Amin Kaur Preet. And she would say, stop doing that. And I just be like, why? She's like, we don't do that. And it's like, who is we? We Middle Eastern people don't do that. I'm like, what, send salams? She's like, yes, we don't do it. I'm like, but you're sick, with all due respect. She's like, I know, but Middle Eastern culture, like we don't go out our way to speak to people. I was like, okay, fair enough, right? I still kept sending my salams to everybody. But she's like, don't you see how people respond? Like, they don't really say it back. And I was just like, well, maybe they just not used to people in America saying salam alaikum. That was my answer, right? That was my chain of thought. But let me not get too far. Anyway, salam alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Abdul, if you come in my comment section with that ignorance, I'm going to eviscerate you. You can tell I'm not the type of American that's going for that BS. You can tell I'm not going to let it slide. So fair answers to my questions. Peace out.